Thank you all for your testimony. And General Kane, let me just begin by expressing on behalf of all Georgians our immense gratitude and admiration for the service members who are making tremendous sacrifices and conducting themselves with extraordinary selflessness and professionalism on behalf of the United States and our state's unified condolences and grief for the families of the 4 killed in action and our hope for a swift recovery for the nearly 100 wounded over the last 2 weeks. And thank you to you for your service to the nation. Mr. Hegseth, you're requesting roughly $68 billion for the department through this supplemental, correct?
67, yes.
And yesterday, your department stated publicly, quote, U.S. forces struck Iranian military command centers, maritime capabilities, missile and drone launch sites, and air defense systems to degrade Iran's ability to continue attacking commercial vessels. That was a press release from your department. Is that a broadly accurate characterization of ongoing operations?
Senator John Ossoff opens his line of questioning by confronting Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth regarding additional funding requests for military operations, pointing out contradictions between recent official statements and past claims about Iran's military capabilities.
Day 14 of this conflict, Mr. Secretary, day 14, nearly 5 months ago, you stated that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. That was on day 14 of the war. Was that an accurate statement?
They didn't have a Navy any longer. It was completely sunk. Their missiles were buried underneath a lot of their underground facilities, and their defense industrial base has been almost completely destroyed. So as far as a military assessment of Iran's capabilities, it didn't mean by any stretch of the imagination absolute zero, but their capabilities
Mr. Secretary,
at the lowest level
you
they've been in
stated
a very
that
long time.
on day 14 of this conflict, in the second week of the conflict, you stated that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. Was that an accurate statement? Yes or no?
Iran's ability to challenge the United States of America at the level at which we're capable of.
That's not what I asked you, Mr. Secretary. You said on day 14 Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. Yes or no? Was that an accurate statement?
What the American military has done to the
question?
Iranian military is a historic military
Will you
defeat.
answer
As
the
Maya
question?
Berry
In
tried to
that
explain the nuance behind Arabic
3
terms
weeks later,
like
you declared
intifada,
victory.
Senator Hawley
That was now
refused to
nearly
back
4
down.
months ago.
He brought out more signs
3 weeks
projected on
after you'd already
university
said Iran's
campuses
military
after the
was
October
destroyed
7th
and
attacks,
combat ineffective.
pushing their
You
witness
said,
to
quote,
label
Operation
specific
Epic Fury
slogans
was a
as
historic
anti-Semitic
and
hate
overwhelming
speech.
victory. You said Iran's military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. And you stated we had, quote, achieved every single objective. Were those accurate statements?
The hearing grows increasingly tense as Senator Ossoff presses the Secretary for a direct yes or no answer, highlighting previous public declarations that the campaign had already achieved every objective while current operations remain ongoing.
On behalf of the men and women in uniform, a historic military victory over Iran.
Had Iran's military been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come? That was a statement that you made 4 months ago.
They had 160 naval vessels
You need to
in the
answer
Blue
the
Water
questions,
Navy,
Mr.
and they're gone.
Secretary.
Their Air Force
you
is
said 4 months
completely
ago.
combat
You
ineffective,
said
and they don't
4
have a
months
defense
ago.
industrial base.
Excuse
so
me,
describe
Mr.
to me a
Secretary.
country that doesn't have an Air Force, a Navy, or a defense industrial base, and I will describe to you a country that does not have an effective
Mr. Secretary,
military.
you
It
stated,
can lob missiles.
Mr. Secretary, you stated
missiles,
4
but it's
months
not a
ago
combat
that
effective
Iran's
military.
military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. Has Iran's military been, for the last 4 months, combat ineffective?
It's been set back not just years, but likely decades.
You stated we had,
can't build
quote,
at the level it did before, and not even close. It doesn't mean it doesn't have capabilities.
Mr. Secretary, you stated we had, quote, achieved every single objective. Was that an accurate statement 4 months ago?
The main objective of this was to ensure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. Their main sites were obliterated. We're watching over them, and we're holding them at issue. If they don't give them up at the table, there's other ways we can take them away.
Early in the conflict
Iran will
on
never
day
have a
3,
nuclear
Mr.
weapon.
Secretary.
Secretary Hegseth defends his past statements by defining combat ineffectiveness based on the destruction of Iran's Navy, Air Force, and industrial infrastructure, while Ossoff points to ongoing missile threats to dispute that every objective was achieved.
Early in the conflict, day 3, you said one of those core objectives was to, quote, destroy the missile threat, and as you restated on day 5, to, quote, obliterate Iran's missiles and drones. Those were clearly and repeatedly stated core objectives of the campaign, which 4 months ago you declared had been completed victoriously with every single objective achieved. Were those objectives achieved 4 months ago?
No one ever stated that every single missile was gone. Ultimately, combat ineffective means they're not able to dig them out of their UGFs and shoot
Had
at
the
us.
missile
It
threat
doesn't mean they
been
don't
defeated
have
4
underground
months
facilities
ago?
where they put missiles in them and hold on to them because they're the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism. So we never expected they would stop having capabilities to shoot. The question is at scale against an opponent like the United States of America, which went toe-to-toe with them and Iran couldn't and
You
cannot
stated on
handle it.
March 8th, day 9 of the war, on 60 Minutes, you assured the American people of Iranian surrender. Does that remain your prediction?
Ultimately, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon to threaten the United States of America. That has been the objective, and it remains so.
So just to review, you will not answer whether your statement made on the 14th day of the war that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and made combat ineffective was a truthful statement to the American people as you sit here and ask for tens of billions more
The
for the conflict.
senator's time has
But a
expired.
historic and effective military campaign against the largest state sponsor of terrorism
Won't
will
answer the
ensure they
question.
never
Senator
get a nuclear
Peters.
weapon, Senator.
The intense exchange concludes as Senator Ossoff accuses the Defense Secretary of failing to provide a clear answer on the truthfulness of his past claims, while Hegseth maintains that the campaign successfully dismantled Iran's major military capabilities.